Speaking of Mount Rushmore, if I ask you who your favorite rapper is and you respond with the name of a founding father, I can take your pulse from here. I'm not taking out my adenoids. I'm not taking out my adenoids. I'm Lin-Manuel, the rapping Dalek. All right, well, you can't talk about 2023 without talking about the 2023 Academy Awards. Yeah. Not if you're hell-bent on shoehorning in that joke about Will Smith and Chris Rock at the 2022 Academy Awards. No, gotta have some kind of connective tissue there. Yeah. I'm speaking, of course, of the slap heard around the world. Now, I can tell you're already getting shifty. You're like, Clark, Will Smith and Chris Rock don't even think about the slap anymore. Which might be true, but see, I think that's the problem. I don't think black people understand just how traumatic that was for the white community. It's called empathy. You could try having some. Oh, really? I mean, we've lot of white worldviews shattered in that instant. The two we all like don't like each other? Just a shockwave went through all of crackerdom, leaving us feeling unmoored. See, I was going to say leaving us feeling unmoored, and then somebody was going to boo, of course. Which would then allow me to go, oh, sorry, I didn't see you there, Iago. But, come on. Little bastard. But there's no good analog to explain it to you if you're not white, just how shocking that was. I think the best I can come. Okay, imagine if you were watching the Grammys and you were black and Phil Collins sucker punched Michael McDonald. Just, boom, 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 boom. By Doobie, leave you just got knocked the fuck out, mate. Boom, boom, boom. It's like he writes pop hooks with his fists. Now you've done it, I'ma beat your ass. And I'll keep beating your ass all night long. You know, the slap only looks stranger in retrospect. I don't know if anybody knows this, but new revelations have been coming out. Apparently, they weren't even together at the time. Will and Jada were actually not. You know, guys, if we're crowded up, we got seating up here. You can come sit in. You can come hang out. But yeah, apparently they were keeping up appearances publicly, but acrimoniously separated, which is really sad to think about because if the polyamorous Scientologist can't make it work. If someone tells you they have an open marriage, what they mean is they have a divorce on layaway. Yep. Okay, so as to the slap itself, here it comes finally. Those of you that have heard this one, you can feel free to shield your loved ones now. Save them from it. But now, look, I don't want to sound like I'm defending what Will Smith did, because it was wrong. But I was so angry the next day when I read the reporting. It turns out LAPD wanted to arrest him on the spot. They wanted to drag him out of the Oscars in handcuffs in front of the cameras. And it turns out, Chris Rock wouldn't press charges, so they couldn't. But just the fact that they wanted to makes me so mad. I mean, he's arguably the biggest movie star in the world, And all these pigs can see is their chance to put a black man in his place. But turns out I was being unfair to LAPD. Because as it turns out, there is actually a perfectly good reason that you'd want to go in immediately, make the arrest, tape off the crime scene, and collect evidence before it gets tainted. Because you see, ladies and gentlemen, that way you can get fresh prints. Can you believe that joke's only got me kicked out of 3 homes? Didn't you think it would be more? Okay, but back to this year's Academy Awards. Okay, so we're just going to have Jimmy Kimmel host everything. Huh? That's what we're doing? That's the best we can do, America? Just another doughy, over-the-hill white beardo with nothing to add except snide commentary. You know what? Never mind. Yeah. All the stars were out that night. Yeah, God, I saw Benicio del Toro, Jessica Chastain, Malala Yousafzai. You matter. Don't be bringing accomplishments in here. This is the Oscars. Yeah. Kind of a shock to see a grown-up Malala Yousafzai, though. Like, I hadn't seen her since she was a kid. I mean, I'd heard the name. I knew she was out there doing her thing. I hadn't actually seen her since she was a child being interviewed by Jon Stewart on The Daily Show. So when I saw what a lovely young woman she had become, I was pissed. What the hell is that about? Look, okay, fine. She stood up to the Taliban. I know she's way braver than me. She graduated from Oxford. Clearly, she's way smarter than me. Now I know she looks way less shot in the face than me. How is that fair? I didn't get shot in the face. She's the one who got shot in the face. Little badass though, right, Malala? Yeah. Every profile you read about her, you will always read the exact same sentence. You will always come across the following sentence, guaranteed. But a bullet couldn't stop her. It's probably not a great idea to broadcast one's weaknesses on stage. I think Sun Tzu said that. But if you ever find yourself needing to put a stop to me, and you might not feel that way currently, but the night is young, I think a bullet would do the trick. That strikes me as a surefire clerk stopper. I dare say getting shot in the face would be my Achilles heel. Look, real talk, you wouldn't even have to shoot me, okay? Just a light graze. I'd be like, yo, okay, all right, knock it off, you knuckleheads. No. Yeah, it turns out I'm not that committed to girls' education. Not Malala, though. No. You blow half her head off. She's like, oh, I'm sorry, did you say something? Can I repeat that, punk? No, come on, I want to hear it. I want to hear it. You're going to have to speak in my good ear, though. Right, I can't hear a thing out of this one. Yeah, no, come on, please. I'm half ears. You better run, Talib bitch. And how do we reward her for her courage and her resilience? A trip to Hollyweird. Just plunk her down into that Bosch painting. Leave her to fend for herself among the dancing monkeys and meat puppets. She got to get interviewed by some animate mannequin. Hello, I'm some interchangeable himbo or other. Let's say Ryan Seacrest. That's the only one Clark knows by name. Well, look here. Here comes Billy Porter in an outfit inspired by Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors. Looking good, Billy. Do not know it. And here comes Timothy Chalamet wearing Coors. Not Michael Kors, a beer can held up with suspenders. That is one dangerously underweight lad. I sure hope Dune was worth your pancreas. Right. Oh, and look who it is now. Malala Yousafzai, internationally renowned activist. Malala, who are you wearing? The skin graft came from an anonymous donor, so I don't know. What the hell kind of question is that? Tell you, those attendees, they're lucky I'm not Malala Yousafzai. Because as far as I know, Malala Yousafzai, not the most passive-aggressive little twat you ever met. Me, on the other hand. Oh, I'd be awful. Just go out to everybody like, hey, I heard you got nominated. That's great. Yeah, so you read something and then you repeated it. That's amazing. I got shot in the face. Yeah, just right in the kisser. No, hey, memorization's hard. I couldn't do what you do. I mean, I could, but not since it's all very fuzzy. But no, hey, look, good luck tonight. What am I saying? Good luck. Break a leg. Or as they say in my line of work, get shot in the face. I was surprised that Tar went home empty-handed. See Tar with Cate Blanchett? Yeah. I mean, I wasn't expecting a sweep or anything, but usually when a movie lines up with the zeitgeist like that, it gets something for its trouble, you know? And what could be more timely than the story of an abusive sexual predator whose toxic narcissism threatens to destroy everyone around her? Fun fact, Tar takes place within the DCU. That's canon. Oh, not that DCU. The Disclosure Cinematic Universe. Remember Disclosure? The Michael Douglas techno thriller based on one of the lesser Crichtons. I rewatched it recently, and the virtual reality subplot doesn't hold up very well. That has not aged well at all. But as a cautionary tale about sexual harassment in the workplace, like a fine wine. Because isn't that always the way, fellas? You just want to do a job you can be proud of and go home to your wife and kids. But Demi Moore, circa 1992, just won't take no for an answer. Another fun fact, Demi Moore is an oxymoron. Well, not if you don't have a classical education, I guess. So yeah, nothing for Tar. Nothing for Tar. It was Everything Everywhere All at Once's night. Michelle Yeoh took home the Oscar for Best Actress. She got to make her speech. She said, "I have a message for all the little girls out there who look like me. Never give up on your dreams. I also have a message for little girls who look like Michelle Yeoh. Stay the hell away from gamers." But all eyes were on her co-star, Ke Huy Quan, who you might know as Short Round from Indiana Jones, The Temple of Doom. He was the big Cinderella story, Ke Huy Quan. Ke Huy Quan. Sorry, I'm racking my brain trying to think of a public figure I've soured on faster than I did Ke Huy Quan. Oh, that dude just set a land speed record for going from delightful to exhausting. I'd like to coin a term if I could. It sounds dirty, but isn't. Comeback lash. It's when someone reemerges into the public eye only to immediately wear out their welcome. I mean, I was like the rest of you. When he first came back, I was just like, oh, and they say there are no second acts in American life. Yet within mere moments, I was like, if you don't stop tearfully expressing gratitude, I will spackle your ducts shut. Does your voice have any settings other than quaver? And why? Look, I get it. An expressive face is a prerequisite for a screen actor. But why is it every single picture I see of the guy looks like a thumbnail for an unboxing reaction video on some Zoomer's TikTok? I don't know what a single one of those words means except video. But I know that's what he looks like. Tell me I'm wrong. Always like the... Oh, God, I hate him so much. And tonight I plan on laying out the evidence that proves you should too. This is my quest. Hashtag stop AAPI hate, with one exception. Is Leanna Wen still around? 2 exceptions. All right, now a little behind the curtain here. See, when I was writing this bit, it was supposed to be tongue-in-cheek. Like, I mean, yes, I do have a negative visceral reaction to the guy, but I'm an old grouch. I have a negative visceral reaction to everything but Bran. So, you know, it's to be expected. To me, the humor came from the incongruity. Just the frisson, if you will, of me waging just this blistering all-out assault on this harmless little guy who is by all accounts quite lovely. But the more I looked into it, the more I came to think I was onto something. Because he's acting like the casting director for EEAAO found him out on a desert island somewhere. Like, he's not Brendan Fraser, okay? He's had a really, really neat behind-the-scenes career. He's worked steadily. He's done some amazing stuff. He was Wong Kar-wai's AD. He was Jet Li's fight choreographer. He did stunt coordination for the X-Men. Like, just a CV 99% of us would die for. And a lot of it cooler than acting as far as I'm concerned. So it kind of rankles when he then echoes Michelle Yeoh's speech. He gets up there and says the same thing. No, you can't give up on your dreams. Dude, your dream was for Goonies 2 to make it past the table read. Who's, Paul, I got a nice seat here. Want this seat? All right. Oh, where was I before my graciousness ruined me? Yeah. So who here raises their kids that way? Who encourages their children to follow their dreams? There you go. All right. Don't stop. Oh, I read the cue card wrong. Don't stop. No, seriously, you should discourage your children's dreams. You should. Yeah. Because children have really stupid dreams. That's the thing. They have just stupid. I mean, yeah, all dreams are stupid. You know, just listen to someone describe one if you don't believe me. We were in a favela, but it was inside my old high school gym. And it's weird that Susan was there, because in real life we're not that close, but hey, where are you going? I wake up mad at my subconscious all the time. I'll just sit bolt upright in bed, like, literally infinite possibilities, and this is what you waste a third of my life with. My teeth can fall out at a party in the waking world. I didn't need that trip to the land of Nod. You ever have a sex dream about someone you've had sex with? Come on! You have access to all the files! Wait, How did I get here? I was talking about dreams colloquially. No. Back to kids have stupid dreams and they should be extinguished. That's what because ballerina. What do you want to be when you grow up, honey? A chain smoker with bad knees and irregular periods. Telling you, best thing I ever did, give up on my dream. Because come on, this is the stupidest dream you can have. And if I hadn't given it up, I wouldn't have found my true calling, working with animals. As my mother said when I made the switch, hey, that's twice now you've managed to monetize your mental illness. But it was the right thing to do, and it was all driven home to me the day after the Oscars, interestingly enough. I was at Tad's place. I had gone there to administer fluid therapy to his cat Tina. R.I.P. Tina. I miss Tina, Tad. Yeah. Okay, that makes it sound like I dropped the ball big time. Fluid therapy is more like dialysis than the Lazarus Pit from Batman. It's not. Tina would have R'd IP a lot sooner if not for your boy Clark. Okay, no. But so I go over there and you know Bridget, Bridget the youngest. All right, I get there, everybody's upstairs except Bridget the youngest. She was 6 at the time. Am I lying? Is Bridget not the cutest friggin' kid? Right?
She's really cute.
Yeah. Donna teaches Bridget and her older sister Claire, who's 11, religious instruction. They're CCD.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking one day, and Donna's like, oh, they're such good kids. I think Claire might be a genius. Took not a hint of pleasure in reporting this. Apropos of I didn't know what, I didn't have the presence of mind at the time to ask why it was being brought up. So now I'm forced to fill in the gaps. Again, CCD teacher. So I'm thinking maybe somebody's been poking some holes in some claims. Been asking for extraordinary evidence, have we, Claire? Yes, does anybody, I see your hand, honey. Does anybody besides Claire have a question? Anybody besides? No book, okay. Yes, Claire, again. Miss Zukowski. About this arc. I guess I'm just curious about the monocellular organisms that reproduce asexually.
They just kind of crawled in.
No, it just had a rotifer. Is that how that works? Anyway, back to Bridget. So I get to Todd's house and I go to give Tina her fluids. And Bridget is following Tina around the house with a little Disney princess cup full of water and ice cubes, because presentation's important. And again, I have to fill in the blanks here. I guess what must have happened was the kids' parents had been, I suppose, just, slowly, inching them towards an understanding of what's coming. And somebody must have explained to Bridget what dehydration means. Because she was insistent on that glass of water, just following her around the house. Like, Tina, here. Tina, come here. Tina, drink this. Tina, you gotta drink this. You need it. You're dehydrated. Yeah. So I watch her pursue her quarry for a while, and finally I'm just like, okay, all right, Nurse Bridget, how would you help me give Tina her treatment and thus obviating the need for the glass of water? And Bridget was like, yay, I love obviating. And Bridget reads books. And so there we are on the couch. Me and Bridget with Tina between us. I got the subcutaneous needle and line running, and Bridget's whispering reassurances and petting her little paw, and she asked me at one point. It wasn't really a question. She goes, "Tina's a good girl, right?" And I said, no. And she was like, whoa! I was like, she's the best girl. She was like, you almost got me, Sager. And now, I've been using a lot of artistic license here with Bridget's voice. She didn't say most of that stuff. I swear to God, she said the following. Tina, for being such a good girl, I present you this water. Drink it. Drink it. Can you stand it? Could you just, And on there, I still got the previous night's speeches rattling around in my head, and all I can think is, oh man, if I just stuck to the plan, instead of wasting my time with this nonsense, why, right this very second, I could be getting interrupted by drive drunks at the Marriott off I-9. And really, what was the best case scenario for me if I had kept at it, if I had stuck with my dream of being a stand-up comedian? Say I reached the pinnacle of my profession. Say I became arguably the most famous stand-up comedian in the world. Then what? Get the taste slapped out of my mouth in front of millions by someone who never gave up on his dream? His lifelong dream of being repeatedly cuckolded by the hippo from DreamWorks Madagascar. Oh, Clark. Cube, Dre, Lin-Manuel, you gotta stop taking out MCs, Clark. We won't have any left. Somebody put a tarp over Bismarcky's grave. Clark, go piss on it. It's been almost an hour since he was in the little boy's room last. He's gonna piss on something. He is 40-10 now, after all. Just for the insiders.
Yeah.
So without any high-profile controversies like the slap to worry about, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences could get back to doing what they do best, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, leaving the most deserving names off of the In Memoriam segment. And they came through yet again. No mention of genre stalwart David Warner. The name might not be familiar, but you definitely know who David Warner is. You know him from Time Bandits, Time After Time, Tron, Star Trek 5 and 6. The list goes on. And as mad as I am about that, I'm actually not as mad as I am about the next name they left off the list. Anne Heche. Anne Heche, who you know from 6 Days and 7 Nights. And a Today Show segment promoting 6 Days and 7 Nights. Look, she didn't have the longest list of credits, but that's not the point. The point is Anne Heche was a prime mover in the fight for equality. Everybody remembers the whole world changed when Ellen DeGeneres came out of the closet. Just a seismic shift. Nobody remembers who Ellen DeGeneres came out of the closet for. Anne Heche. You've had some good pussy in your life, right, man? I guess. You've had some good pussy, right?
That's a weird one.
Yeah, well, you. You've had some good pussy, right? Have you had pussy so good it leads to a sea change in public opinion and jurisprudence? No, because you ain't had unhinged pussy.
That's true.
Yeah, but Clark, what did she do? What did Anne Heche really do? What did she do? Only the most historically significant scissoring since Betsy Ross.